Guys, today I want to talk to you about incentives, how you can use them to predict society's behavior as well as individuals. Show me somebody's incentives and I'll show you how they'll behave. Saudi Arabia, for example, not exactly one of my favorite countries on the face of the earth. Oh no, not by a long shot. But you have to hand it to them in one aspect. They have almost zero theft. According to Google statistics, it's 1 per 2.5 million residents, million Saudi Arabians. Why is it so vastly different than the United States, where thievery is rampant and growing, unfortunately? The simple answer is they cut off your hand if they catch you thieving. Chapo, chapo, chapo. Bye-bye, hando. No more. Is the theft going to be worth it? No, they de-incentivize it. There are penalties that are rather stiff. Similarly, if you take a look at the drugs that exist in places like the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, they have almost zero drug problems. Again, we want to know why. Why are in Mexico and the United States, why are drugs so rampant as compared to these places where it's zero? Because they execute drug dealers. You walk into the airport in Bali, you will see a big sign. Drug traffickers will be executed. It de-incentivizes people from doing so once again. And a simple game theoretical calculation will yield a no-go result. And even if your mathematics in your brain are askew and your paradigm of the world makes it worthwhile, the death, you aren't going to find many counterparts on the other side of the economic transaction in order to facilitate this deal. Therefore, drugs in such places are next to zero. So let's come back to the United States and see how incentives are working here, or the lack of de-incentives. So it used to be that they would prosecute shoplifting. The DAs in a lot of woke areas have announced that they are not going to prosecute shoplifting under $950. This is true in California, it's true in Seattle. And what is happening now to shoplifting crime since they've made this announcement? Do you think that shoplifting has gone down? Has it stayed about the same? People really, they don't want to steal any more than normal. Or has it gone up? Yes, statistics will show that the shoplifting in these localities has increased. Should this be a surprise to you? Only if you don't believe in incentives and de-incentives. So let's take a look at it from a game theoretical aspect of an individual. It's heads, I win, tails, nothing happens. It's a free roll. It's a no-lose situation for somebody who's willing to be a criminal. And this isn't exactly Jean Valjean stealing a loaf of bread to feed his poor dying children. Last time I checked, Americans did not go wanton. Imagine if you own a hobby store and somebody comes in, they steal this $800 model airplane and they run out the door. You're powerless to do much of anything. Even if you know the thief and you have them on camera and you present the evidence to the police, they aren't going to file charges against the individual because the district attorney has announced that they aren't going to prosecute him. So game theory for the police, why waste the time when nothing's going to happen when they can be out there solving other crimes? And for other people who want to purchase such items, the cost of them increases because you have to cover the theft that is ongoing and increasing. So basically, when somebody steals, it's a tax on everybody in society. Some on the left will say that it's one way to take back from the greedy entrepreneurs, the rich store owner who might be struggling. Even the Walmarts, yes, they succeeded, but this doesn't give you the right to steal, and they applaud the thieves for taking action to make their lives better, that they have to steal because they are impoverished. They excuse their behavior in some way. In some cases, they even blame it on Trump, that the only reason these people have to steal is Trump. Once again, we are abdicating personal responsibility, and we are pinning it all on some evil thing outside of the individual, when we are all responsible for our actions. Goodness gracious, that's the one thing that I want us all to understand. We are all responsible for what we choose, and at any point we can choose to do something different. So if you're out there and you're thinking about snacking on something that you know you shouldn't, personal responsibility. Now back to the regular scheduled program. As these businesses start to close, as people start to feel the pinch, not only do we lose the employees to unemployment, and now we're paying their insurance, but trust in each other begins to unravel. If there's no consequence, if we don't think that there's at least some shame, some consequence of some type, we just start guarding our possessions even more closely. And who can blame people from, again, the game theoretical aspect? Furthermore, when people are rewarded, or in this case, there is no punishment, they naturally continue spiraling down the path of crime, which causes further harm to society. The broken windows theory is a criminological theory that states that visible signs of crime, antisocial behavior, and civil disorder create an urban environment that encourages further crime and disorder, including more serious crimes. Again, you spiral down that rabbit hole. When someone steals from a store, it is a tax on every single one of us, and that includes you out there. You see that happening? Let's all try to prevent this from growing. One of the challenges is that it's fake compassion that the politicians and the district attorneys are selling to the population. Fake compassion for votes. And this is doing such harm, such detriment, because they aren't doing their jobs and they are destroying society. And look, I'm not advocating for some Saudi Arabian hand chopping or death for drug dealings, but I am telling you that the incentives we offer society make it very easy to predict group behavior and the direction that our society will continue to go. Improper use of incentives and disincentives will help unravel mutual trust and in our society faster than any enemy of the United States could possibly dream of. So, again, let's calibrate our incentives and disincentives in a way that benefits us, and let's not overlook the broken windows theory. And so, again, when you are considering how somebody's going to behave, just considering the incentives, how they weigh them, and the disincentives that are being offered. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you've learned something and you think somebody else will benefit, share it. Share the video, subscribe, and hit that thumbs up. And peace and blessings to everybody out there.